This is Ubunifu Space, a definitive guide to music and culture from the youth of Africa and the diaspora. Keep watching to hear our conversation about their YouTube reviews of music throughout Africa, bridging the gap between the African diaspora, and their 8-part docu-series documenting their travel through South Africa and Kenya.
My name is Songezile. I am a contributor on One Tribe magazine. I'm really excited to have a chat with you guys. And yeah, we'll just get straight into it. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves as well? Just your names and which part of the continent are you connected to or have roots?
Cool. Okay, I'll go first. I'm Brian, and I'm from Kenya, so East Africa, Kenya. Yeah.
I'm Monique. I'm from Zimbabwe and from Kenya. I mean, Cameroon. Sorry.
Like, since when?
I'm Shay, and I'm from Nigeria.
And I'm Ian, and I'm from Uganda.
Great, nice to meet you guys. So you guys sort of represent, all parts, or at least, northeast, south, yes. What does Ubunifu mean?
So Ubunifu means in Swahili is creativity or creative. So obviously Ubunifu Space is another sort of like spin-off of the creative space or creative space. Yeah. Nicely.
So in terms of your 8-part series, I know we're halfway through the series. I really enjoyed it. You guys start off in Johannesburg, and then you also go to Durban and Cape Town. What was your favorite thing about Johannesburg?
Parties, going out.
Nightlife.
Anyway, the nightlife in Joburg was incredible. And I feel like it reminded me a bit of like it's kind of like London, New York, like, like central city type of in a country. Like that's what it felt like for me. Like if you want to go to Johannesburg, it felt like it's maybe a place for business and then culture in terms of like nightlife, food, people, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I definitely agree as well. I think for me particularly it was the cultural aspect. So Sunday Roast, for example, and us going to SA during the first summer of Amapiano, we really got to sort of immerse ourselves in that scene. And for sure, for me it's definitely culture for Johannesburg.
Nice one. And for you, Monique, is it what you expected, with regards to some of the music videos and music that you guys consumed before you came to South Africa?
I was definitely blown away. There was definitely high expectations. Obviously, we've engaged in the culture for a minute now, and, you're aware of the different places and, music coming out of certain places. But being there was something completely different. It's not the same as consuming it on a screen. So, yeah, I was definitely blown away. It was so... Yeah, just having parties literally every single day. Like in London, it doesn't really happen. It's mainly like maybe the Wednesday, then definitely weekend. But South Africa, we were out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Like it was just constant. And I didn't anticipate that. at all.
Oh, cool. Wow. Okay. I think we can safely say that you guys, we're properly initiated into the South African groove time. So with Brian, when you guys visited the Sobering podcast, which is one of the leading podcasts in terms of the culture, in South Africa, I heard you say that the Ubunifu, sorry about that, Ubunifu, and just what you guys are about is the importance of documenting the culture. We do see quite a bit that we don't have those spaces, right now. Yes, they are growing. There are platforms like yours, the One Tribes and all of that. How important do you really think documenting our culture is, and what role do you think it'll play in the future?
I think it's important because I think, with the internet and having access to information nowadays, like at literally everyone's fingertips, majority of people's fingertips, I think there's so much information about like the continent of Africa and different countries and different sort of tribes and cultures within the continent that we as people, like we've only tapped in sort of like the music side, but we as a group we've talked about sort of like the food aspect, like, and so many of us haven't even sort of like been able to try other regions' food, or maybe even know staple dishes. Like we can name you, you know, the menu of Five Guys from New York, or we can tell you what like you can find in a Spanish paella, but we can't tell you what you can eat from your neighbor's dish, kind of thing. And these are aspects that I feel as time goes on, like we in the space, you'll be able to see that we try to document and give information so that, you know, reference points, I guess, like, you know, in the future where people are trying to see like what, you know, information, there's this places where you can find this information, and it's important, I feel.
And then for you, Monique, I think on your trip to Cape Town, you had a drama workshop. And I thought that was really interesting. And I saw, you know, you had young girls around you and that took part in that drama workshop. Can you tell us a bit more about that, and if it's something that you would like to continue to do? And also just what you think the importance of women in the industry, whether in the music industry, creative space, you know, radio, TV, especially African women, like what do you think, you know, what kind of role do you think they can play, especially going forward and especially with all the excitement around, you know, the African continent?
Big question. So in the documentary, I worked with Rainbow Arts Organization, and we did like a devise workshop where we had like a prop, and then we had to kind of develop a scene from there. And it's something that I, you know, kind of posed the question before, being like, I really want to do this. Can this be done? And it was available to do. So I was like, yeah, 100%. I want to do this. This is something I do in the UK. It'll be really nice to try and translate it in South Africa. And what was so weird that I don't think I told the guys was that there was a bit of a language barrier. And I didn't anticipate that, actually. I thought I was going to go in and it was going to be fine. But there was definitely a language barrier. And I definitely wanted the actors to feel like they could just express themselves in their mother tongue. So there was a lot of times where I wasn't necessarily fully understanding what they were doing, but the idea of them being free was important to me as a director. So it came out that I learned more about the culture, I learned more about them, and also just understanding that, you know, drama is something that obviously happens all over the world. And being a woman, I suppose, in that position doing it, I think it's so important. I think representation is really important. And, you know, when you think of directing, a lot of the time you do think of males in these positions. So I think like females stepping into these roles is really important. And not just representation in front of the camera or on stage, but behind is just as vital and just as important in shaping the narrative anyway.
And then anyone can take this question. You know, when you guys record all these videos and you're hanging out and it looks like a great time, you know, sometimes I'm like, I wish I was there, I could join you, you know what I'm saying? You guys make it look so easy. What are some of the challenges that you sometimes face with regards to making sure the content is out there, you know, finding the videos that you eventually, you know, consume and all that?
I mean, I'll start. I mean, in the filming, one of the first things that has happened to us sometimes is like, you know, just the basic checks, like, is the mic on?
Yeah.
And like there's times where we've gone through like a whole recording session and the mic is not recording anything. And there'll be times where we could do like, you know, 6 to 8 videos and like you can't really use them. But I feel like those are just like in the actual sessions of like, you know, when we're there sitting down recording, and obviously like small stuff, camera and focus, and obviously stuff like lighting, etc. as well. I don't know if you guys do want to chip in other things as well, but yeah.
I also think as well, like when as a group of 5, we all have so many different ideas, or we see so much for Ubunifu, and I think when you see so much for a platform and you're all trying to execute, or you all have ideas and you all want to do A, B, C, D, I do think it's challenging being so young and maybe not having like an abundance of resources constantly to access can be a challenge. And I think a lot of content creators will have that same challenge where it's like, you may not have the up-to-date cameras and the up-to-date finances, well, the abundance of finances to just hire everything and do everything constantly, because at the end of the day we do this by ourselves and off our own back. So I think that sometimes is a challenge when we're like, we want to do all these concepts and we want to do all these like ideas, but also we have to remember that we are limited sometimes to our resources, so we can just do as much as we can. But like Monique said, hopefully with the new ideas coming in that we can actually do and we're really passionate about, people can see a bit more dimension to us as a group.
the African continent has so many languages and different cultures and different music genres. How would you like to see Africans, on the continent and in the diaspora connect as one tribe?
So one thing I would love is for things where, because I think doing, and this is probably just a personal thing, but doing the channel and doing on Ubunifu, what we realize is sometimes you get little wars in the comments from different people from different countries, like, oh, Kenyan music, South African music, and it's this kind of like thing where they're all going at it. And I'm like, sometimes literally the music coming from South Africa is just as good as the music coming from Nigeria. The music coming from Kenya is just as interesting as the music coming from Uganda. Like, show love to each other. So I'd love to see, first of all, people bring down those walls of pre-notions or pre-thoughts that they think of people from different countries and they feel, and just be like, do you know what? I'm just going to try and explore and understand my neighboring countries and their music from a fresh point of view, because sometimes, we hear music from, let's say it's Tanzania or Rwanda, right? And I would have never really understood or known where to find out music from those specific places. But being someone that's coming from Nigeria, I'm not going to be like, well, it's not Nigerian, so I'm not going to listen to it. Do you know what I mean? So it's a case of just showing love, bringing down the walls of what you perceive a country to be, and just going in with open ears. Like, that would be what I would love from people from Africa and the diaspora.
I love that, yeah. And Ian, would you like to go?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with what everyone else has said. I think in terms of when we do look at our comments on our page, whilst there is evidence of, let's say, between countries, people having, these competitions, etc., but there's also evidence where let's say someone from Kenya would comment and say, oh, I'm Kenyan, but I like this song, this South African song, I really like it, it's really interesting. So I guess what we've been able to see with our channels, that people have sort of come on and actually being able to discover new sounds from different parts of the continent. So in that sense, you're beginning to see the beginnings of a one tribe, in the sense where people are learning more about different parts of the world. So I guess it dispels their preconceptions about these countries that they may have gained through bad sources, I don't know. But I guess in terms of our channel, this is how we're sort of demonstrating that these countries are unique in their own way, and you should really try and discover what they're all about.
Yeah, just adding on, like, it's a very short add-on, but like, I think I can't remember if it was in Quest the Spirit video, but like, I think you realize how very interlinked we are. So I think obviously there was a mention, I think, of I can't remember the word specifically, it was Nama or something, but like, I think there was in the comments like how Zulu and Swahili are very much interlinked, and like, a lot of the words are very much similar, and you saw people debating, talking about how they say each word, and they're like, it sounds very much the same. And that kind of thing is like beautiful, because you kind of understand, even though we are like, through whether it's colonized or whatnot, we're separated by line borders, we're very similar as people if you actually go up and down the continent, left or right. So
I love that. Moving on to even more positive vibes, I do want to find out, let's say 2 songs that you guys are currently listening to. Doesn't have to be South African, can be. And also, if you could give me one word or phrase that describes Amapiano for you.
Yeah.
For me, I'd say vibrant, because I think for me, Amapiano just makes you feel happy, makes you want to dance, just gets you in a very good mood. And it's obviously, like I said earlier, it's a very sophisticated genre. So you could be in different music, consume different types of Amapiano songs. So you could be chilling to an Amapiano song, you could be partying and going mad to an Amapiano song. So it's like, it's very, it's very unique in that sense. And 2 songs I'm listening to right now would be Own Pace by Emil and A2, so it's like a rap song from the UK. And then this song called Rupa, so it's by Vocalistic and
say again.
Bang on.
I think I'll start with the songs. DJ Stocky, Superman is one that I've got into. And there's an artist I came across that I was just going through yesterday. I think he's from Johannesburg or Cape Town. He does R&B called 2 AM, but he's sick. So I've been really going through his projects. So those are 2 that I've really got into at the moment. And Amapiano, I just think it's just always fresh. It's just always like a dynamic, or just sort of like something that's just fresh that comes out, like in terms of the sound. And as Ian touched earlier, like there's just different sort of like palettes that you can find yourself in, whether it's like the hard hitting or like the smooth. So yeah, fresh, I would say.
I would say old, slightly old, but the lyrics are great. Paying Black Girls, I've been banging from before for a while now, but yeah, I think it's a great song. And if South Africans haven't listened to it, they should, because it's brilliant and it's a great message. And Monetti, is it Monetti?
Manate.
Straight banger. Yeah, I've been playing that on loop. I would say the word for Amapiano, I would say it's a journey. I feel like every song is a journey. The songs are very long, the tracks are great, and you just, at every point you're just going through a different motion. And as we've said before, it's like 5 different songs in one. So yeah, I'll say it's a journey. Every Amapiano song is a journey, and I love it. It's great.
So I started re-listening to Trouble by DRB, Laskidi, Bodge, Thames, because I started seeing it just to be a bit more, I don't know, like it came out a while ago, but I just started to re-listen to it and I'm like, this song's actually amazing. I don't know why, it's such an amazing song. And then I've listened to this too. Sorry, I've got to do this because Kabza De Small and Maparissa's song, Hello, yeah? I started re-listening to that song and I was like, this song is amazing. Like, I don't, you deep the song, I'm like, it's probably one of my favorite Amapiano songs, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, because again, listening to it before, was like, yeah, cool, it's calm. But listening to it again, I was like, no, this song is actually amazing, like everything. I don't know what it is. And then there was this one song that I found called by Mr. Jazzy Q, and something else is called Picture Junk Park or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why. I just kind of like this is Baba Die or Shoe or something like that. It was like, okay, like so. I mean, it was just really good. So I like that song. But then in terms of the actual Amapiano sound, a word, I would say unpredictable is what I would say, because it's like you go from Hello, like a song like Hello, to the Sister Die or Shoot, like it's just so 2 different kinds of Amapiano, and I'm like, okay, like, so yeah, unpredictable for me.
That's awesome. That sounds really exciting. You can also, if you want to shout out to your social media handles, go ahead, that's pretty much it though.
I'll just say, please just watch the documentary, just keep liking, commenting and letting us know what you think. This is obviously round 1, trip 1. We hope to do many more in the future. So yeah, and any suggestions of places to go, guys, just keep involved and just get in touch with us on the socials. The
socials, Ubunifu Space, UBU NIFU Space, across all socials.